Plan B is a backup birth control option that's there for you when things don't go according to plan. It specifically works after unprotected sex and before pregnancy occurs by temporarily delaying ovulation. Plan B is available nationwide at all major retailers and through delivery apps like DoorDash. No ID, prescription, or age requirement. It's the #1 OBGYN recommended brand of emergency contraception, and it won't impact your future fertility. That's freedom to be. Use as directed.
The older I've gotten, the more I've come to appreciate that horror is a gigantic tent. As a kid, I often thought of horror as just ghost stories, or monsters under the bed or in the closet. And as a younger adult, that expanded significantly. But as I approach my 42nd birthday in just a few weeks, I found that horror is as diverse as the authors who write it. And that's a great thing. Of course, I'm as human as anyone else. And there are some types of horror that simply aren't for me, usually because the subject matter is a bit further than I'm willing to go. And then there are types of horror that I love and hate at the same time. Bug and body horror fits perfectly within this paradox, because whenever I read these stories, I suddenly feel like something has gotten under my skin. It's a strange visceral experience that's difficult to describe. I hate it, but I also love it. Today's story, Broodmother, written by Vesper is a terrific example of horror that makes me feel squirmy and uncomfortable. At the surface, it's bug horror, but just underneath, it's a sharp revenge tale that's both smart and horrific. Here's a quick bio. Vesper is an autistic author from the greater Washington, D.C. region. Her books sit at the intersection of autistic experience, queer love, and the horror of the unknown. And as much as I hate-love bug horror, I'm thrilled to narrate it for you. So sit back, turn down the lights, pull up the covers, turn up the volume, and pay close attention as I narrate Broodmother, written by Vesper. I'm Will, and you're listening to Midnight Horror Stories.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Whether you're packing for a vacation or dressing for a wedding, Nordstrom has head-to-toe looks for wherever summer takes you. From swimwear and bold color to romantic florals and dresses that make an entrance, find the right style for every unforgettable moment. Shop new arrivals from brands you love like Farm Rio, Free People, Vince, Waif, and Stod. Plus free shipping and returns and styling help whenever you need it make it all so easy. Shop now in stores at Nordstrom.com or download the Nordstrom app.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer to learn more. See you this summer.
Girl, winter is so last season. And now spring's got you looking at pictures of tank tops with hungry eyes. Your algorithm is feeding you cutoffs. You're thirsty for the sun on your shoulders. That perfect hang on the patio sundress. Those sandals you can wear all day and all night. And you've had enough of shopping from your couch. Done hoping it looks anything like the picture when you tear open that envelope? It's time for a little in-person spring treat. It's time for a trip to Ross. Work your magic.
You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Wishing you could be there live for the big game, soaking up the atmosphere of the crowd. But too often, life gets busy, or the price holds you back. Priceline is here to help you make it happen. With millions of deals on flights, hotels, and rental cars, you can go see the game live. Don't just dream about the trip, book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com. Actual prices may vary. Limited time offer.
At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV. Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free. The truth is ours. It's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Broodmother, written by Vesper Doom. I know of monsters. The valley is home to monsters of every shape and size. Some walk on two legs, hunting innocents for pleasure or profit. Others crawl and creep, flit from shadow to shadow, stretch along sheer rock walls, lurk deep in crystalline mountain creeks. They hunt and feed and fuck like humans do. But unlike humans, monsters serve a purpose in the valley. They are the cause and effect of the magics of the land. There are other monsters too, ancient ones. They existed before the veil cracked between the lands beyond and the outside, and the overlap became the valley. They lurk in the darkest caves, soar high on cloudless nights, slumber in deep lakes and rivers. I have seen some with my own eyes. I know of monsters, of shadows, of the haints in the swamp. I know of the sirens along the coast. I know of the gods that keep the liminal world safe, sane. Cicadas scream all around me. Their shrieks are a gentle lullaby on summer evenings like this one, when the heat and humidity linger, the sun setting the forest canopy ablaze with golden light. A pair of heavy boots follows me at a distance, the wearer trying to conceal themselves in deep shadows under ancient oak and sycamore trees. But he does not know how to walk silently, avoiding the crack of dried sticks and the crunch of moldering leaves and discarded carapaces. He has no awareness, no knowledge of these woods, though he has been here before. And he has no fear of the god of these trees, no worries that the god could take more interest in them than is healthy, which is not a healthy way to live. He wears old boots with soles softened from years traversing the valley and outside, looking for the monsters he's been hired to kill. It is almost too easy to lead him on. I duck under fallen trees and skip around outcroppings of ancient stone, my expanded eyesight giving me advantages he doesn't have. My colorful clothing is a beacon in these dim woods. The bright reds and oranges and golden yellows of autumn shine in what little sunlight peeks through the foliage above. I hear him panting as I pick up the pace, jumping from rock to tree trunk and back down to the forest floor. Behind me, the hunter wheezes as he clumsily trips over root and rocks, sending him clattering ahead and to his side. Wheezing turns to coughing as the boot steps slow. I slow with them. The forest chokes those who do not belong with its humidity and gloom. The deeper we trudge, the worse it will get for him. But I am of the forest, as vital to it as the squirrels burying next year's saplings at the edges. They ensure that this living, breathing land will encroach upon others for time immemorial. I ensure that the brood lives on. The crack and squish of cicadas under my boots is something that I will never learn to like. Whether it be 1 or 3 or 30 dead beneath my soles, I feel the wet slosh as their half-liquid inners squeeze between the joints in their carapaces. The filth coats my soles, filling the crevices, aiding my silent steps. but I feel for the insects, for their short, pathetic lives of feeding and fucking. They cry out from the ancient trees and die under my feet, and in their deaths I hear a call, a song, a hymn. I am not unlike a god to them, though I am not the god to whom they shriek praise. They aren't so different from us, driven by our needs to feed and flourish. They flit from tree to tree, jumping, flying, screaming. Here, in the outskirts of the woods, they are few, thousands rather than millions, but they cover every available branch and rock and tree. These are the heralds, and this is only the edge of the brood. I pause, tilting my head to the side while two of the little insects crawl up my neck. Their legs and the edges of their wings tickle my skin. A branch has fallen in the distance, a heavy limb from an ancient sycamore crashing to the ground beneath. I hear a hum, low and deep and distant. It approaches slowly, growing steadily in my ears. The brood calls to me. I feel it more within my blood than hear it with my ears. It calls me onward, to home, to the source, to her. A whoosh of air hidden by the sudden cawing of crows alighting from the high branches startles the hunter. His fear smells of piss and heat and body odor. I turn discreetly and see him swatting at his arms, smashing and scattering my kin. Another crack, this time closer and from a brittle birch, tells me that she has taken notice of me and my hunter. I know of her, for she is a monster and the god of these woods. Without her, this forest would rot and fester. Without her, humans could flourish here, bringing ruin to the ancient magics that feed the roots of the valley. She is the Broodmother. It has been a moon cycle since I last brought her a sacrifice. She has laid many eggs in that span, and her hunger has grown so that I can feel it echoing in leaves and moss beneath my feet. But the time of her feasting is nigh. Blood and flesh and bone sacrificed to keep her sated and content within her borders. That is the part I play to keep the delicate balance between tradition and progress in the valley. The gods must be sated for the land to flourish, for winter to turn to spring, for the moon to return from her slumber. It is a ritual, and I am the cleric destined to perform my sacred duty. The sound of metal on metal jars me out of my reverence. Mechanical sounds have no place this deep in the woods, where sunlight rarely blesses the fallen leaves and iron would rust in the humidity. Some days you cannot tell if the sun has risen, or if it is one endless, haunting night. I crouch and raise my arms to my sides, showing that I have no weapon. I hope that I appear small, fragile, an innocent lost in the woods who needs guidance to return. Cicadas flock to my colorful cloak, clinging to my leggings and tunic, burrow into my braids. I feel every one of them as surely as they feel me. I must look like a plague bearer to those like the hunter, who cannot hear their lamentations, their pleas, their praise. I breathe in the rich scent of earth and the sharpness of the bugs. There is rot too. Under the carnage of carapaces, leaves rot and wither, pine needles crushed and scented. Under all that is sweat and liquor and smoke. The hunter's fear is stronger, sharper now. If you're trying to get yourself killed, you're doing a good job. His voice is harsh, haggard from long years smoking. I smile with my back towards him. It's a crooked, ragged thing of teeth and shredded lips, but it's the best I can manage. I practice this smile over and over in the tiny, cracked mirror in my room, perfecting the subtleties of looking pathetic, yet ominous. People are shocked by the scars. Pity clouds their eyes from what they should fear. Turn round, girl, he commands me, and my spine stiffens beneath the urge to feed on him myself. I turn around, my smile hidden behind a facade of doe-eyed fear. The man is cloaked and hooded, holding a revolver level with my head. "Hunter," I hiss, trying to make it sound like a plea. More was taken from me than a pretty smile. My voice crackles with the buzz of distant wings and a cacophony of insect cries. I have no need for a voice within these walls of bark, nor under a roof of leaves. He relaxes and lowers his pitted, weather-worn weapon. He cannot hear the nuance in my voice, or see my face in the gloom. The timing isn't perfect yet, so I play along with his expectations. Words and images echo through my mind as the Broodmother approaches. I see myself through her faceted eyes, watch as the man pulls me to my feet, his rough hand digging into the flesh of my skin. A cicada screams at the pain he's caused me and launches itself at the man. He flinches, twitches, and swipes at the insect, crushing it beneath his hands. The hand on my arm pulls me close enough to smell teeth gone to rot, puckered skin oozing with infection, and the acrid hint of human magic. He peers at me through milky eyes and raises a light towards my face, lighting his in return. Fear and joy bubble up my throat from my stomach. The bugs on me hum a single dissonant note. I have seen this man before. This hunter. I finally had him within my grasp. The hunter. "You hurt?" he grumbles, shaking the remnants of my pulverized kin off his free hand. The other grips me tight. "Just the scars." I point to my face and wonder if he remembers the child he'd disfigured, the one who'd clawed at his eyes and face as he fired into her head. This is the prey I'd waited for over the long years since our last meeting. Rumors of dead hunters must have led him to these woods, to the brood, to me. "Shh," he admonishes, reaching forward to cover my mouth. But my cicadas shout and flee, covering him and the surrounding trees. I pull out of his grasp and thank the eggs that I'm free of his dirty human touch. "You don't want to call her, do you?" His accented voice is sluggish, slurred by age and wine and bloodlust. How many monsters has he killed? What ancient bloodlines has he erased?
"Break his bones. Crush his skull."
Her voice draws even closer in my mind, soothing me. I feel more cicadas swarming over my feet and latching onto my hair. They cover every branch, every root, every leaf, every rock. They settle in their spots and I feel their attention focus. Beneath their loud cries and buzzing, I hear the shk of wings too large to fly.
"Hunger."
The cries fall silent, the signal that I should show my hand. We'd worked this out over the long years of our lives, the mother and the hunter. This was before her wings grew flesh and I gained my scars, and we both resembled something we are not, something we could never be.
"Human."
"One of your kind gave me these scars," I say, taking a step to the left. I was young when it happened. My big sister sat nearby, watching me as I counted the snowdrops, looking for omens for the year's hatching. I continue around the hunter, making a slow circuit as I talk, talking in the tattered ruins of his once fine regalia. He turns too slowly to truly keep his eyes on me. Someone found me there, and thinking that I was a child, they decided that they'd have fun. I modulate my voice here, feeling unused chords vibrating inside my body. That hunter pinned me down and sliced my face to shreds because he didn't like my eyes. When he saw the ichor that fills my form, he shot me and left me for dead. I can hear his heartbeats quicken, the disease in his lungs threatening to choke the life from him. The cicadas on my body quake with what I know to be anger. I am their kin, a great aunt of legends, the sibling of their mother. One great cry echoes through the forest, and the silence after is more deafening than the great broods of the distant past and future. My sister has never forgiven you for what you did to me. My voice echoes hers, multi-toned over several octaves. We've waited all these years, patient, tending our woods, and the magics your kind hold in contempt. We knew one day you would come for her, and that I would have the honor to lead you into her clutches. Feast. The man's eyes burn like the moon rising in the east. He sees what I sense, sees the Broodmother in her prime. She's been waiting for you, and she's hungry. Shit and piss stain his pants, drip down his thighs. He shakes and cowers before the Broodmother, and her hunter, her lore. Her garbled voice whispers. A smirk crosses my lips, teeth extended, saliva gathering under my tongue and dripping down my chin. I turn and smile into the beautiful face of my dear sister. The hunter's milky eyes see nothing of the beauty that crawls forward on 6 sets of human legs. Half human, half cicada, her bloated body is full of eggs that have yet to be laid. Her wings are huge, beautiful, translucent darkness covered in warm, coppery iridescence. Her face, similar to mine, is beautiful and beloved. More insect than human, her chiseled jaw and pouting lips remain under massive, faceted purple moons for eyes. My sister looks back at me, purple eyes glowing pink and blue. She holds out one multi-jointed arm to me, and I take it. Together, we rip chunks of flesh from the man as his body rejects the basic instinct to fight or flee. He whines and whimpers as my teeth dig into the flesh of his stomach, ripping out sheaths of skin and chunks of muscle. His body buckles under the weight of eggs laid within the cavity I create. The hunter dies before we finish his entrails, his eyes, his legs. He dies, and his sacrifice glows like candles across our bodies, and the magics of the valley are once again renewed. I know of monsters. I call one sister, twin. My blood and hers came from the same gentle source, the same loving match between God and human. They have long since fed us and the brood, but our parents live on. Their knowledge and magic and pride and love are passed from generation to generation on the wings of cicadas. They spread wide and far within the valley, hatching and screaming and fucking and dying. The brood is resilient. The brood will endure. I know of monsters, of gods, of shadows. I know of them, and they know of me. I am the monster walking on 2 legs. I am a cicada cloaked in human skin, gifted with the power of speech and the will of 1,000,000 generations. I know of monsters because I am a monster. What did you think of Broodmother? Comment on Spotify and let's talk about it. A special thank you to author Vesper for submitting a terrific story. Be sure to follow her on social media at Vesper on Threads and Instagram, and on her Patreon account at patreon.com/Vesper. And be sure to follow Midnight Horror Stories wherever you stream pods and on YouTube. And of course, don't forget to leave a 5-star review. I'm Will, and thanks for listening to Midnight Horror Stories. See you next episode.